Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and yet again a very wet day in Wales. Today I'm visiting a beautiful little church called St Anno, and this is famously known for having one of the best rood screens in the UK, and it is the best one I've ever seen. So for those of you who don't know what a rood screen is, I'll quickly explain it. Rood screen is spelt R-O-O-D, so you might be mistaken to say rod screen, but it's actually pronounced rood, as in R-U-D-E, and it's an Old English word which literally means cross or crucifix. The rood screen dividing the chancel from the nave would once have been found in all medieval churches. These screens would have been painted and were often adorned with images of saints. Above the screen would have been the rood, the image of Christ on a cross, usually with his mother Mary and St John at each side. During the Reformation in the 16th century, Henry VIII's soldiers were instrumental in enforcing royal supremacy by dismantling the Catholic Church infrastructure. They stripped monasteries of their wealth, destroyed religious images, taking the gold and silver. They destroyed most of the religious symbols deemed superstitious, including breaking stained glass windows, removing altars, and pulling down rood screens and lofts, sometimes destroying the whole church. Luckily, some of the more remote churches in Wales were actually untouched, and there's quite a few churches I've been to with the rood screen. So we'll head inside this church and have a look at this remarkable bit of craftsmanship. This is a 14th century church, first recorded back in 1304. It was totally rebuilt in 1877 at a cost of £1,500. It's now looked after by the charity the Friends of Friendless Churches and is open every day for the public. And here we have it. This screen was restored and installed in 1880, just 3 years after the rebuild, and cost a whopping £300. The font and the little water stoop are believed to be original from the 1400s. The carving was done by an R.L. Bolton of Cheltenham and depict Christ at the centre, with the figures from the Old Testament to the left and the 12 apostles to the right. Some of the missing square coving panels were also added, and an additional wyvern was carved to extend the rood beam, as the church was rebuilt slightly wider than its medieval predecessor. This was originally built in the 15th century, so we're talking 600 years old. I just love these tiles in the chancel, and the windows are really nice. There's a small stained glass panel which is Christ blessing children brought by their mothers. And here we can see the back of the rood loft. So the church is a Grade 2 star listed building, and it was designated that in the 29th of July 2004. There's only about 5.5% of all the listed buildings with the actual grade, which makes this a very special place. As I stated earlier, it's looked after by the Friends, but there is a few little issues I've noticed today, which I'll point out in a minute, and hopefully they'll see this and try and sort it before it gets worse. This crest has Semper Liber written on it, which translates to always free. There's a lovely bit of history here. The old church safe from 1829, and it's got the name of the vicar and the warden at the time. While I was in the church, I could hear a dripping, and I found out it's coming from the roof here, dripping on these pews. And this whole wall looks very mouldy, so hopefully the Friends can sort this out before it gets really bad. And before I leave the church, let's have another look at that beautiful rood screen. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the tour of this magnificent little church. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I do also have a members only page if you'd like to join. That will really help me financially so I can visit even more interesting places. My next video shows another really interesting Rood screen, so make sure you watch that one too. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you all soon.